He can read a person. He knows what to say. He knows how to manipulate. He knows how to get it done his way. So another one of my favorites as well. And then Sidewinder, well, you're gonna see that come to fruition very soon. He's just very simply a badass.
We got a question from Patrick. Patrick, will you answer? Oh, right over here. He would like to know, what advice would you give to an older person on entering into the field? And he says as well, thank you for always bringing menacing to the screen.
I think for any of us, we take on a vocation in our lives, and we put 4 years of college into it, and we put a lot of attention on it, and then we get there and we're doing the gig, and it's perfectly fine, but it's not really exciting us or moving the needle. But we chose that, and so we stayed there. And I think that we should not stay there. I think that many of us have more than one career. I think that, you know, change is good. And I think if you're entering into what I do late in life, you have a chance to make it if you dedicate yourself to the craft. And you go and take some theater courses, and you go and you audition and you read everything, and you truly develop your inner power and your inner character to be able to facilitate and manipulate words, and then you put everything else in between on it, and you go and do it, if you love it, right? To love what you do is to never work a day in your life. And if you choose something that doesn't make you happy, well, you chose it. You have to look first at what you learned from it, and then give it up and move in a different direction. In our world today, we have online courses, we have college, we have experience, we have things that you can do to jump in and just do it. And you should be happy and satisfied with what you do. It's not attached to the amount of money you're gonna make, although as we get older, we have responsibility, right? I got 4 daughters, I'm a divorced man who is raising his kids, so that's responsibility. So then you're tied to have to create an economic machine that takes care of your family. So while you're young, remember this. If you choose something and you think, oh, I don't know if I like this now, but I did all these things and it took all this time, well, honor that, honor what you learned from it, and move on to something else that makes you truly happy.
This is a fun question, no name here, but how does it feel to be in Fortnite?
You know, it's monumental, I'm told. Everyone comes to me like, oh my God, you're in Fortnite, oh my God, you're in Fortnite. It's a big deal. It's funny, you know, in yoga, they say in the philosophy, and I'm just remembering this from a lot of the yogic writings and philosophies, no pleasure, no pain, right? So everything is kind of the same. And I used to always think, oh man, that means I'm not going to enjoy my life. It's just kind of going down the middle of the road. It affected me in a way that because the fans are so excited, and because I didn't know a lot about Fortnite, of course I'm excited and honored that my character Moff Gideon would be invited. And I realize every day and every con that I go to, what a big, huge deal that is. And so I'm grateful. In the end, it's gratitude, it's excitement. You know, I live in a world of wonder, enchantment, and joy. And if you don't, I invite you to come on the train because it's a good place to live.
Yes, sir. No name here, but your role in Usual Suspects is never mentioned. Can you tell us more about what it was like getting that role as Jack Baird?
Yeah, you know, Chris McQuarrie sent word to me that he wanted to be in his movie. He explained to me his father was an FBI agent, and that I reminded him of his father. And I went, wow, okay, so I think Chris is from Virginia or somewhere, and he's a white boy, and his father's a white guy. He said, no, it's your attitude, it's who you are, it's how you deal with any given situation. So I read the script, I was at Cannes, Robert, a producer, gave it to me, and one day, on the first day of my arrival, and I was really exhausted from getting off the plane, but I stayed up all night and read it. He said, I have the money, I have the cast, and Chris would really like you to do this movie. And I read it, and I told the truth. How often in life do we tell the truth? Like, honestly tell the truth. So on the next day, did you read the script? I said, yeah. He said, what'd you think? I said, I didn't understand it. He said, excuse me? I said, I don't get it. I didn't understand it. I mean, I understand what happens, but he said, okay, look, read it again. I said, okay, I'll read it again. I saw him the next day, this is the producer, and he looked downtrodden and sad. I said, what happened? He said, I lost all the money, I still have the cast. Did you read it again? I said, yeah, I read it again, and now I get it. He said, good, we want you to do the movie, let me try to see if I can get the money. 7 days of Cannes, I saw him on the 6th day before the last day. I got the money again, we want you to do the movie, we can't pay you anything, we have a great cast, will you be a part of it? I said, sure, give me a chocolate bar and I'll do it. I talked to Chris McQuarrie, and again, my ideas were welcome. This is a movie that's almost 30 years ago.
Yeah.
And I did a scene in San Pedro where I had to come in and solve this whole, the opening of the movie, a big crime had happened, the boats in the harbor in San Pedro in California, and the script said, he looks up, he looks around, he's smoking a cigar. No, I added the cigar in the hat, and he goes into a restroom. So I looked, and the only restroom closest to me on that pier was a women's room. And without hesitation, I walked right into the ladies' room. And the director, Brian Singer, and Chris McQuarrie, the writer, absolutely loved it. Because I stopped, I look up, you see the woman's sign, and I go right in, I don't care, I gotta take a piss. And they were so excited, they say, this is that guy. This is who this guy is. Necessity is the mother of invention. It's right there, he goes in. So this experience on this movie was really great. I worked with, of course, Kevin Spacey. I worked with Chaz Palminteri, the Baldwin brother. I mean, everyone was so great. But the wonderful lesson I took away from the movie was Benicio del Toro.
Yeah.
Love Benicio. We came into a rehearsal and he said, "Yo, Joey's your body." I was like, what is he saying? But you want to good, come on, yeah. I'm like, that's a brave choice. But I learned that's what acting is. And everyone was I had no scenes with Benicio, but all his scene partners were like, this guy's out of his mind. Is he really gonna talk like that? And Benicio's like, yeah, we do that. And it worked. And I went, Benicio, you're brilliant. What a choice to make. This is the choices we want to make in our lives. Choices that you wouldn't think that would be ordinary, but it comes out of your dream and what you believe. These are the choices you have to make. They're bold. I had a friend in Ireland, Paul Davis, God rest his soul. He trained dogs, he trained birds for the hunt. He was the original Irish expatriate, and he'd look at his dogs when his dogs would jump on the couch, and he wouldn't scold them right away. He'd look at them and go, that's very bold. That's very bold. Get out. And I never forgot it. You want to be very bold. You want to be that bold about the choices you make in your life, because those are the choices that will change is good, change your lives for the good forever.
I believe there's a quote that is related to that. Fortune favors the bold. Right?
Sure does.
From Gary. Gary, where you at, sir? Right over there in the middle. What was it like working with the all-star cast and Spike Lee in Do the Right Thing?
Oh my gosh, I love this movie. You know, we didn't know what we were doing. Spike had a vision, but the rest of us were like, oh, what does he want? What's he trying to say? It was a very turbulent time in New York City. Spike is a very provocative director who wanted to make a change in our society and the way we looked at each other. And so I give him complete credit for his guidance on this movie. I played a very bold character in Buggin' Out who had a little information, and that little information for him went a long way for him to become an advocate for the black man without really even knowing what that meant. but for the first time in his life, he could stand up for something. This movie changed the way we made movies, and Spike and Ernest Dickerson, the cinematographer, really had a vision for displaying how hot it was that summer. And the backdrop was political unrest in New York. And to have a community that was just evolving, Bed-Stuy, being on a block in Brooklyn where we kicked all of the drug addicts out, 2 families were left, and we had a Hollywood set in Brooklyn, was a visionary and very bold move on Spike's part. And then couple that with electrifying music that allowed us to further feel the energy of what was happening then. This is a movie that still and will continue to be a classic for many years to come.
Amen. All right, lightning round, lightning round. Aiden wants to know, did you ever think about stealing the darksaber?
Heck yeah! They had 1 million people watching me and I couldn't get it out of there.
Final question comes to us from Deborah Tinsley Pledger, the Jedi Master of Science. I think that's her. What inspired the character Moff Gideon?
For me, the inspiration was to look at other Moffs like Peter Cushing, who was very graceful and very intelligent and held close to the best, but what he didn't do, I wanted to do. I wanted to fly my own TIE fighter, I wanted to wield my own darksaber, I wanted to be the power. And that power came from the inhabitation of Darth Vader by James Earl Jones.
So much. I knew this would be absolutely fulfilling in San Antonio. He brought it like he always does. Y'all make some noise for the one and only